Hello everyone, and welcome to a playthrough of Victoria 2. I decided since we got the nice good old coronavirus outbreak going on that I can make videos again, especially because it gives me something to do during the outbreak. So I was thinking of a bunch of other countries to do, and I thought there would be nothing better than playing as the good old principality of Walachia, as apparently it is pronounced. Now, before we... Actually, I won't explain anything. We'll get right into the game. Actually, no, I probably should have just started the game first and then recorded. But, what are you going to do? So, Walachia, what is our starting position? Now, we are cordial with Austria, friendly with Russia, friendly with the Ottomans. However, we are actually a satellite of the Ottoman Empire, even though it doesn't show it. Well, actually, it does there. Victoria 2's UI is pretty bad. So, what do we got going for us here? Well, we got about 464,000 people, so not a lot. We have 9,000 troops, 3 divisions. We have 1 national focus, and 3.6% of our population is literate. Fantastic. And to make things even better, we not only have slavery, we also have peonage, which severely hurts our ability to, well, modernize to any, capacity. Great. So, why Wallachia? Well, 1, we can form Romania, which is always fun. And believe it or not, it's actually, forming Romania is very easy. It's doing anything else with Romania that can be kind of hard sometimes. Although normally one of these 3 guys gets shit on by one of them or the other 2. And truth be told, most of the time it's the Ottomans. Although Austria gets shit on too, a lot of times in my games. So, we'll eventually get an event that'll bind us with Moldavia. We don't even have to do anything. We'll form the United Principalities that eventually become Romania. So if we go on here, I'm actually going to use the battle plan editor for once. I don't even know how to use it in Victoria 2. Sure, so this territory is going to be the land that we have natural cores on and stuff. We can't, and over here. We can get cores on some other stuff, and I am going to take other land as well. But this area is going to be our primarily goal. And if you actually look, if I go in the state view, you can see that these are the ones that have Romanian cores on them. Oh yeah, just so you know, I am playing with the HFM mod. In reality, if you're not playing HFM or HPM, you're really not playing Victoria 2. And I'm in addition playing the HFM More stuff add-on that just adds more decisions and events and stuff for countries. So we are going to do some other things. So since we are playing HFM, one of the big things with HFM is people don't like the colonial railroading. So I'm actually going to disable that, and I'm going to disable the anarcho-liberal ideology because it's just really dumb and makes the game go a little bit faster. I don't actually know why my literacy went up to 4.1, to be completely honest with you. So, to start off first, we're going to start building up bureaucrats in there, because that's just going to help us get more tax money and build up our, promote pops easier. And also, we're going to take all of our tax sliders and go boom, boom, boom. And I want my admin all the way up and my education all the way up. Now, the truth be told, guys, we're not going to be fighting any wars anytime soon, so it doesn't really matter that we don't have good military spending. And another thing is that because we're not going to be fighting any wars anytime soon, we are going to be focusing on our economic and, I guess, technologies more. So we're going to focus on, our goal right now is just to get our education up, because in the long run, that's going to be what's going to benefit us. Restaurazione, yada, yada, yada. Splendid isolation, yes. Although normally they end up breaking it like 10 or 15 years anyway, once one person fights each other. So if you haven't played Victoria 2 before, what makes Victoria 2 different from all of the other Paradox games is the use of pops. So basically, every one pop is supposed to represent one adult male. If you actually look at this, as our adult male population has changed. Cool, I guess we're a Dominion now. Yeah, let me disable this. There we go, hide options. So, what we're going to do for a while? Well, we're really not going to do much. We're really just going to watch how the rest of the game goes on for a while. And that is the one thing about playing as Walachia. I mean, you can also play as Moldavia. I guess it isn't that different. Same thing with playing as Serbia, is that you really can't do anything until either the Ottomans or the Austrians start to collapse. Now, with Austria, it's going to be easy in a way. Because around 1848, should everything go right, you'll have the Hungarian Revolution break out, which will offer an opportunity to take land. However, it's not a guarantee that anything like that will happen. However, one thing is Wallachia is that there is an event, the Wallachian Revolution, which will make us a republic. It's either a republic or constitutional monarchy. I forget which one it is. And the Ottomans will declare war on us, and we're going to have a very unfun time. And so I have actually seen the AI win the war, and that is because when the war between Egypt and the Ottomans starts, it was France declaring the Ottomans, and they occupied like everything. And then they actually Wallachia actually became independent. If it's a republic, if I remember or not, I just don't remember which one it is, because you're only it for like a year or two. And honestly, you're better off just surrendering immediately because you can't win. Same thing, we'll work on that education efficiency. If you haven't played Victoria 2 before, your literacy is going to affect how fast you research your technologies. So because I only have 4.3% literacy rate, it means the amount of research points I get is not very high. You actually noticed in my saves thing that I actually played a game with Nat, and I posted that on Reddit. And that game, it was fun. I enjoyed doing it, but it just sucks so bad not being able to do anything. Let's see, and we have a baby boom going on. Yeah, we do. So our population is going up. Again, we're not going to be able to conquer anything. We're not going to be able to really expand at all for quite some time. Now, I actually do not play HFM normally anymore. I played the Grand Combination mod. The only thing with that is that's kind of laggy. It's kind of slow. I'm sure it'll get better eventually, but by default, because there's so much stuff in the game because of the Grand Combination mod, it'll probably always be a bit slow. However, it's also kind of unstable. And when I say it's slow, I mean it's pretty slow. Like, this is way faster than the Grand Combination mod. So let's take a look at some of what our neighbors are going to have going on. So you have the Ottoman Empire, who they're already at war with Egypt, and they're also at war with France, which is actually very good for us. So ideally, Egypt wins the war. That's not going to happen. But assuming Egypt did for some reason, that would actually be very helpful for us. Shitting on the Ottoman Empire and Austria is going to be our main goals throughout the campaign. Russia's going to be like our best buddy for a while, and we're going to try and use them to help us stick people down. Like, let's say we declare war on Austria at some point to get part of Transylvania back. We can't beat them on our own, but Russia sure can. So it looks like the Ottomans are making short work of Egypt. Oh, Russia's at war with Egypt now too. Luckily, the great powers aren't at war with each other. So hopefully France can do some damage to them. I'll take anything at this point. So let's look at the culture map mode in the area. See, this is all the Romanian majority areas. This is where we have cores, obviously other than the Hungarian parts of Transylvania. So we have cores on all of Dobruja, There is a Turkish majority core there, but we're going to try and end up taking this. So there is a chance that we can't get Dobruja, or Bulgaria will be released first, which they will get a good part of it. Eventually we'll be able to. Now, if we actually get free, conquering Serbia isn't a horrible idea. There is some Romanian populations that are here, and we do have such a higher population than Serbia that honestly we're not going to be conquering anything anytime soon. So spending the infamy, which is going to be at least 22 infamy to do that, I'd be fine with taking that. Because we're not going to be doing anything else anytime soon. And the wars we are going to be doing, we're just going to be taking cores back. So we won't be getting infamy back anyway. Yeah, rest. Oh, poor Egypt, or Britain too. And there we go. And as you see, the Ottomans are actually automatically demoted to a secondary power. Now, that does not mean we're going to be free, but now it means that the Ottomans aren't competing with anyone else to sphere us. And I mean, it doesn't really matter right now. See, our literacy is going up, and our number of bureaucrats is going up. Normally, this number, you want it to get at around 1%. Although, the game will tell you, you want the state administrative efficiency to be 100%. Now, normally when you get around 100%, 80 to 100% of your bureaucrats is your population. That's normally when you get around to that. Although you can get it sooner. As you can see, with 33%, we're already 63% on the way there. And this number will go red when you actually hit that 100% efficiency. And then we're going to start boosting up our intellectuals, and we're going to boost it up to 4%. You don't need to. And actually, I guess I can give you guys some tips here. If you're a country that at least a third of percent, I would say, if at least 30% of your population is literate, I would say only go to 3%. If 50 or more are, just hit 2. And if you're at 70 above at the game start, I wouldn't even worry about it. Like, for the time being, like, obviously, if you do have an opportunity, you should. But if you're at 30% or below, especially if you're an uncivilized or primitive nation, bump it up to 4%. Any higher than that, and you're not really gaining anything. Actually, I don't even know if it will. If the amount of intellectuals you have matters after 4%. See, let's take a look at some of the decisions we have. So, choose a trade policy, ignore. Reform local government, ignore. Choose a tech school, ignore. We have unite Wallachia and Moldavia. So, what is this one? We need to invent nationalism and imperialism. If you look here, that is unlocked in 1850, which is not that far away. We need to not be a subject nation, and then both of us either have to be an absolute monarchy or a semi-constitutional monarchy, or a constitutional monarchy. Which really, it's going to happen eventually. So I'm not too worried about that. When we form that... Oh, really? I guess I haven't... Oh, no, I haven't put it in a wall. Hold on, maybe I'm remembering this wrong. Maybe it's... There's probably an event that makes you form the United Provinces. And then if you don't... And then if you actually end up filling this condition, you probably just form Romania that way. Because there is still the regular Romania... Romania decision. Romanian ad is an accepting culture. So if you didn't know that, Transylvania, if you want a fun game, Transylvania is Romanian majority culture. Well, primary culture and majority. However, you have Hungarian as an accepted. How long is that going to take? Oh, geez. 3 years. So you have Hungarian as an accepted culture. Which, that's amazing. However, if you form Romania, you keep it. Which means that you can actually... Any of the Hungarians in Transylvania will be okay with your rule. And you can take all of Hungary proper. let's see. What's the rest of the world up to right now? So, the UK, not allied with anyone on the continent. France is allied with Spain, not that weird. The Netherlands are allied with Prussia. Belgium is allied with the UK. Austria, allied with the Ottomans. Pretty uneventful game so far, and hey, it's just the beginning of Victoria 2. See, Victoria 2's kind of got a slow start, but not really. If you actually... Playing in South America is actually pretty fun. Rio Grande's breaking away from Mexico, and I hate to say it, I don't know how, but I've seen Rio Grande win. I forget the reason why. I think it had something to do with the United States intervening, because Yucatan became independent too. And it was really weird. So playing as Rio Grande would probably be fun. You don't have any cores, and Texas actually has cores on you, so you'd probably get declared war on. Texas is actually fun. And releasing California, because generally in most mods you get a thing that makes you as a republic, even though Mexico is a wait, no, they're a presidential dictatorship. Man, why am I not remembering anything correctly? But when you do that, you actually get a lot of immigrants later on, especially when the gold rush comes in. It's a pretty fun game. I've also done games in the United States where I've done the full crusade for Canada, which is actually pretty easy, mostly because the AI is pretty bad at landing troops. And you can actually, so if you play as the United States, I know it is an HFM, I don't know if it is an HPM. If you start the Mexican-American War, what you need to do is when you give them the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, which you have to have Mexico City occupied, there's a chance Mexico refuses, although it's based on how good you're doing in the war. The only requirement for doing it is, I think you need a certain amount of money, and then occupy Mexico City. But what you can do, and pretty much every time they'll say no to the treaty if you do this. You take your army, you put them on boats, you bring them down here, and then you only occupy Mexico City, they'll say no. So then you fight the war as normal, but then you'll get a new decision called All of Mexico Movement, which you can't take all of Mexico, but you get cores on Sonora, Chihuahua, and Coahuila. This one. There's also ways you can get cores on Haiti. You can get a core on a lot of stuff if you play the right mod, which I think that's really just HFM, which is what we're playing right now. At least I have Victoria 2's music to keep me company. Let's see, is there any wars going on? No, Opium War, Yucatan War of Independence. I have seen Yucatan win. Yucatan is Mayan cultured. I mean, I doubt they would, that if you got immigrants as Yucatan, I doubt they'd assimilate to Mayan. The Federal Republic of Central America, even though it doesn't exist right now, is actually another fun game, and it's really not hard to beat all the rebels. Even if you lose one of the countries, you'll still steamroll them, because I think you can declare war on them like immediately. Alright, bureaucrats are all done. Now we'll start boosting up intellectuals. Our literacy is skyrocketing up to a great 5.7%. So when it gets going for Romania, we're gonna get going. See, France has taken northern Algeria. The British are invading Formosa. Nothing that interesting, actually. Oh, now doing a Boer game. That's fun. Most mods you have to start, pretty much all of them, you have to start as Zootpensburg. Which you notice has 4.8 thousand people in it. So you basically can't attack anyone, which kind of sucks, because if you had a higher population, you could definitely fight Matabele. But they'll just steamroll you. Like, how many units do they have now? 5. They would definitely beat you. The only way I could see it is if you can ally with a great power. Which no one's going to do. And then, I guess, hope that they help you take over, but they'll probably just annex you. Oh, Brazil's at war with Colombia. What the hell's this about? Brazilian War of Panamanian Freedom. Why? Why do you care? Alright, we are going to want to make sure that we're ready to research nationalism and imperialism as soon as we could. Again, we're going to ignore that we even have military right now. So, I wonder what happens if... So, like, I know there probably is, knowing how in-depth these mods are, that if the Qing managed to beat the British in the Opium War, there's got to be something that happens. I just don't know what it would be. I wouldn't be surprised if it makes them give up some of their colonial territories in Asia. So as you can figure out, the United Kingdom is at the start the strongest nation, but do not be deceived. I wouldn't even bother allying with them most of the time, because as I said, the AI is terrible with boats, and if you notice, the United Kingdom is on an island. So other than getting some pesky landings, the UK actually isn't a very good ally. They're not a horrible ally, obviously, if you can't have anyone else, and if it's cases where they actually already have a land border there. Like, pretty much, if you're playing as Mexico and you can get an ally with the British, that they actually will help you out in the war against the United States. And I guess if you're fighting anywhere in here where they're already going to have some troops, it's good. But I would say if you're fighting in Europe, then if you just want them as your ally to deter other nations from attacking you, they're good in that role. But otherwise, I wouldn't even bother. Literally any of these other powers is going to be better. Yeah. I like to ally Russia in the beginning. Although the thing is with Russia is because their troops are spread out, that they get them at a bad time. Like, let's say they just finish a war with the Qing, then it means a lot of their troops are over here. It's going to take forever for them to come over. See, one good thing about playing as Walachia is no one has cores on our land other than us and Romania, so it basically doesn't matter. Now let's take a nice look at their ethnic makeup. So 87% of our population is Romanian, 6% is Gypsy, 43% is Serbian, and 2.7% is other. I don't know what the others are. I guess we can find out. Sephardic Jews. That's probably just it. Oh, we got some Bulgarians and Armenians in here. And as you can see, all of our slaves are... Oh, we got some Greeks, apparently. All of our slaves are gypsies. However, 98.9% of our population is Orthodox. Not that religion means too much in Victoria 2. It really doesn't. We're going to keep state capitalism because we do want to stick with the Conservative Party or the reactionaries. Yeah, some rebels and the Ottomans. I gotta say, one thing I do like about the mods is they help stop the rampant rebel problems that you get. Like, you still get rebels in, like, the mods, but it's nothing compared to how it is in vanilla. Especially with, like, anarcho-liberal rebels. God, it's horrible. So, the Great Fire of Bucharest. Great. However, actually, it's not bad because generally nations will pay to help you rebuild. So you actually end up having your population go up quite a bit. Alright, state and government. Actually, you know what? I want to become Romania first. Right now, it doesn't really matter too much. I'm trying to get the things that are going to help us more in the long run. So we're actually going to let that happen. And the reason why is we want to pass reforms. Mostly, so you can actually cheese passing all the reforms. So if your militancy is high enough, then you're not, even reactionaries will. So reactionaries never will, but conservatives will. So if your militancy is high enough, they'll vote for anything. So if you want to have fun, pick any of these New World nations that are some sort of republic. Actually, it really doesn't matter because your militancy is high enough, it's going to work. Well, especially if you pick the United States. What you do is you declare war on some shitty African or Asian miner who can't fight you at all. You do want to make sure you pick a conquest one, not a concession. Because the war score is higher for the conquest. You do that. So say I justify on Benin as Brazil. And I just keep letting it going. Eventually they'll start sending me peace offers to end the war. And every time I say no, I'll get more war exhaustion and militancy because I'm losing the war badly because I don't do anything. Eventually my militancy will go up and up and up. And you can just start passing all these reforms. And if you can get these passed, like I would say by 30 years in, you can pretty much get all these passed that you want to. You will start skyrocketing, especially if you can pass the school system and the healthcare real quick. Oh my God, you'll do amazing. And if you pick as any of the other New World nations other than the United States, you'll actually start taking some of the migrants from the United States that they would get otherwise. However, if you play as the United States, then you'll suck up even more of them as you start making you more attractive to immigrants. What it is, what it is. Wow. Nothing. Nothing at all. Well, guys, I think that's a good spot to stop for today. So if you enjoyed the video, which I hope you did, remember to leave a comment. Always like reading what you guys have to say. And hey, if you wish to see more, remember to subscribe. I will catch you all later. Peace.